Hello, 6th grade, how are you? This is your English teacher Wa'ad from Ru'al Farouk Academy. Today we are going to talk about the second conditional. The outcomes for our lesson for today are: students should be able to recognize the meaning and the use of second conditional, 2. Practice second conditional, and 3. Recognize and practice second conditional questions. The second conditional or if clause second conditional الجمل الشرطية النوع الثاني second conditional. At first, let's recognize the use of second conditional. We use the second conditional to talk about things in the future that are probably not going to be true. What do you mean by that? To talk about things in the future تحدث عن أشياء في المستقبل غير ممكن حدوثها أو لا يمكن حدوثها. Okay? To talk about things in the future that are probably not going to be true. Or we use it to talk about something in the present that is impossible because it's not true. أو التحدث عن أشياء في الوقت الحاضر مستحيل حدوثها أو لا يمكن حدوثها. Why? Because it's not true. غير حقيقية. Okay? Let's look at this sentence. If I have enough money, I would buy a house. This sentence is in second conditional. And as you know, if clause contains condition clause and result clause. دائما في الجمل الشرطية بيكون عندنا جملة الشرط اللي هي condition clause and result clause اللي هي جملة النتيجة. condition clause اللي هي بتكون مع F. clear؟ الجزء اللي فيه F أو الجملة اللي فيها F هي ال condition clause and the second one is the result clause جملة النتيجة. So هي بتتكون من جملتين condition and result. Clear? After that, let's recognize the form of the second conditional. At first, we have two pictures, and here we have the sentence. If she studied more, she would pass the exam. هي درست منيح راح تنجح في الامتحان. F اللي هي بما معناه إذا. She is the subject. Okay. She is the subject, singular subject, and studied, it's verb 2. Excellent. If she studied more, more is the complement, then we should or we have to write comma. So جملة الشرط if she studied more, comma, she subject, then we put would. Okay? After would, we should use verb infinitive, اللي هو pass, infinitive verb, and complement of the sentence. So, the form of the second conditional is F plus subject plus verb 2 plus complement plus comma, don't forget the comma, plus subject, would, and verb 1 complement of the sentence. Clear? Okay, let's summarize the form of the sentence. F, as we said before, plus subject plus simple past, comma, subject, would, and infinitive verb or verb 1. What do you mean by simple past? ليش أنا هون حكيت simple past؟ Okay, يعني verb 2. F, subject, verb 2 and object or the complement, comma, subject, would, infinitive verb. would هي ثابتة في جملة الresult ما بغيرها would. لازم جملة النتيجة دايما يكون فيها would. وجملة الشرط بتبلش ب F ولازم يكون فيها verb to. Clear? Look at this. Another form of the sentence. بإمكاننا نعكس بين جملة الشرط وجملة النتيجة. نجيب الريزلت في الأول then condition clause في الجزء الشق الثاني. يعني جملتنا بتبلش ب subject would infinitive verb plus F subject verb to and object. عكسنا بين الجملتين بس، والتغيير اللي صار هون غير إن عكسنا we delete the comma. Excellent. If we start our sentence by the result clause we delete the comma between two sentences. إذا بلشنا جملتنا بجملة النتيجة ما في داعي نحط الكوما قبل الأف. Okay? Okay, here we have some examples. Let's read the sentences and practice them. If I won the lottery, I would buy a new house. Which means إذا أنا ربحت في اليانصيب I would buy a new house. راح أشتري بيت جديد. So F subject verb to the lottery is the object comma لأنه بلشنا بجملة F لازم نستخدم comma subject would and verb infinitive and the complement. The next one, if Linda was here she would help us. F subject والverb هون عندي أحد أفعال to be اللي هو was. يا إما بستخدم was or were according to the subject. If Linda was here she would help us. راح تساعدنا. وأكيد بنحتاج الكوما لأنه بلشنا ب F. Don't forget that was or were according to the subject singular or plural. And the last one, she would be happier if she had more friends. This sentence هاي الجملة بلشناها بإيش؟ result. She subject would and infinitive verb هو be. happier راح تكون أسعد if she had more friends إذا كان عندها أكتر أصدقاء أكثر. sorry. Okay, and had is verb to. Clear? Let's read this note and recognize it. We can use were instead of was with I, she, he or it. كيف صارت هذا الحكي؟ نحن قبل شوي حكينا we can use was or were according to the subject. If the subject is singular she, he, it or I نستخدم was. If the subject is plural were. لكن هاي الملاحظة بتحكي لنا إنه بإمكاني أستخدم were with singular subject also instead of was. يعني بصير أحكي I were, she were. When I can use that? Because or why? Because the sentence is in the subjective mood. إذا كانت جملتي بالتمني أو إشي خيالي أنا بتمنى إنه يصير okay I will use were. Let's look at the example. If I were you, I would go out. What do you mean by that? إنه لو أنا كنت مكانك I would go out راح أخرج. تتمني إنك أنت تكوني مكانه عشان تطلعي. Okay? This called subjective mood. The next one. If she were here, she would correct my mistakes. لو كانت هي هنا راح تصلح لي أخطائي. Okay? Look, she is singular subject, but we use were because this sentence is in subjective mood. تمني. And the last thing, look at the form of the subjective mood. F subject and where. ما بيهمني شو ما يكون subject singular or plural، بدي استخدم where. Then complement, then comma, subject, would and infinitive verb. هذا الحالة بس في حالة التمني اللي هي subjective mood. لو أنا مكانك أو لو هي مكانك، أنا بتمنى إني أكون أو بتمنى إنها هي تكون هنا. Okay? Here we use were instead of was. ما بنستخدم was، were. Let's do this exercise together. Correct the verb between brackets. Number 1. If you eat less, you wait, and the verb is lose. يخسر. حكينا دايما جملة if لازم يجي معها الverb what. Excellent. Verb 2. If you ate less, you would lose weight. إذا أكلت كمية أقل رح تخسر وزنك. Don't forget would. ما تنسوا تحطوا would. If we live in Mexico, I Spanish, and the verb is speak. Excellent. If we lived in Mexico, I would speak Spanish. Clear? Number 3. We come to dinner if we time, and the verb is have. هون عكسنا بين جملة الريزلت والكونديشن. بلشناها في الريزلت. إذا جملة الريزلت شو لازم يكون في معها؟ We excellent would come to dinner if we had time. حكينا دائما جملة if لازم يجي معها verb 2 والresult conditional لازم يجي معها would and verb 1. Number 4. If they younger, they فراغ more, and the verb is travel. If بدنا معاها verb 2. شو الverb 2 من be? According to the subject, they. If they were younger, لو إنهم كانوا أصغر, they would travel more. Okay, my students, let's recognize the questions in second conditional. Look at the example. What would you do if you met a dinosaur? شو ممكن إنك تعمل إذا قابلت إيش أو إذا شفت dinosaur? Look at the question to recognize the form of the question in second conditional. At first, we start our question by what, WH. Then we put would. After would, subject. Okay? And then do its verb 1 or infinitive verb. إذا WH question, would, subject and infinitive verb. Then we write F, and after F, you, subject, and met verb 2 and the complement of the question. So the form of the question will be WH question, then would, then subject, infinitive verb, plus F, plus subject, verb 2, and complement, and don't forget the question mark. Clear? Let's look at the examples. What would you do if you had a spaceship? بلشنا سؤالنا ب what, then would, you is the subject, and do is infinitive verb. Then F, subject, had, verb 2 and the complement. Number 2. What would you do if you were a robot? شو بتعمل لو انت كنت robot؟ هاي الجملة بالsubjective mood. Okay? And the last one, what would you do if you failed the exam? شو رح تعمل إذا أنت رسبت في الامتحان؟ Look, جملة F verb 2 and would with infinitive verb. Clear? Let's do this exercise together. Collect the verb between brackets. هدول sentences about questions. Look at number 1. What would you if you a spider? حكينا الverb بعد would. شو لازم يكون؟ Okay, infinitive. What would you do if you saw a spider? الverb مع F لازم يكون verb 2. Okay. Number 2. What would you also do if you be a famous? ما بدي أحط be، بدي أحط أحد أفعال to be. And here you. So if you were famous. And the last one, what would you eat? Bravo. If you were in a forest. Okay, we have finished our lesson for today. Thank